Hi guys, my name is May Doldalal, and I'm here live talking about a summary of Den of Thieves by James Stewart. And this is a very good book. I highly recommend it. I just read it. I got it from the library, so you can get it for free. It's about a bunch of people in the 80s who made billions of dollars and almost destroyed Wall Street, and basically because of their greed. So I read the book. It is a very long book. It's a nonfiction book, and the author, James Stewart, he's amazing reading this book. In the back, you'll read about testimonies. He interviewed as many people as he could. I mean, it's amazing. And he created a book that reads like a story, a fiction story. So it's fun to read. So that's the cool thing about it. Now, the interesting thing is learning about what happened and why, and about greed, really, just greed, and how greed can happen, and they don't care who gets hurt, as long as they get money and everyone else doesn't, they don't care. So the major things that happen, and the biggest point that I want to make, and so first of all, they do a lot of different illegal things, but the thing that really got me the most in the story was this one man named Ivan Boesky. Ivan Boesky. Oh, before I begin, though, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is May Doldalal. I live in Honolulu, Hawaii, Waikiki, with my husband Jamal and our 8-year-old son Jordan. And back in 2011, I had over $40,000 of credit card debts, but I paid it off by April 2016. Where I'm at families and we haven't proved over $500,000. We make almost $500 a month in passive income. I quit my job. December 23rd was my last day, and I started coaching clients to do what I did, which is not only pay off debt, but also increase your wealth, increase your free time, increase your financial freedom, increase your passive income, and just have a better lifestyle. So going back, go to my blog, yesfinancialfree.com, go to the right side, first name, email address, hit the big red yes button, and you'll get a free ebook, Working's Guide to Financial Freedom, sent directly to your inbox, and you'll get on my email list where you can always ask me questions. So back to this book and the summary of the book. And the links to my blog are underneath this video for whatever if you're on YouTube, the link's there. Thanks for being on the YouTube channel, subscribe. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, the links are there. Instagram, it's in my profile. Okay, so this moment, there's a guy in the story named Ivan Boesky. He's this really loud, Russian. They call him the Russian, and he wants to be arbitrage. What's that mean? It means you just look at the news and you look at the market and you decide you figure out what you think is going to happen. Like, is a company going to be bought? Is something going to happen? And then you buy when you think the company's going to, be bought, and then you sell when they go up in value and you make a huge amount of money. And that's from your own research and from calling around and doing stuff. So Ivan Boesky is doing that, okay, which is legal. You're allowed to do stuff like that. You're allowed to go and invest in the market and see what's happening. And he ends up getting enough money that he becomes a major player in the market. But there's this one deal he does. I think it was something plus golf or something. Anyway, it was a sure thing. Everything was lined up. It was perfect. And then it just didn't go through for whatever reason. And it was supposed to. Everyone thought it would. It was just like a done deal, and it didn't go through. And he almost lost everything. His company almost went bankrupt. He almost was like annihilated financially. He had to ask a friend to help him save his company, and that friend helped him put in these options so that it wouldn't destroy his company. He still lost tons of money, but his company didn't get destroyed. And the telling thing about that story is that after that moment, he decided he didn't want to play the game anymore. I think he realized in his heart that there is no way to predict what the market will do. It really is uncertain. And that's when he decided to do insider trading stuff and work helping other people who knew information, and then doing things regarding them and getting paid to help them. And that's when he started doing the illegal stuff, blatantly illegal stuff. And he was a big player in the middle of one huge player named Michael Milken. And that Michael Milken, he's the one who played the junk bond empire. And then there were smaller players like Dennis Levine. And Dennis Levine created a little network of insider traders. So there's these different men, but there's a lot of people in this book. Okay, I'm just focusing on these three because when they got caught, it started with Dennis Levine. Dennis Levine was insider trading. So what he did was he just created a group of friends at different investment firms, and all the investment firms work with different clients. So they know what different corporations, different clients are doing with their money, or if they're going to plan on merging with another company or whatever, they know that. And they share that information with the other people who don't know that. And what Dennis Levine did with it is just trade stocks. So the most innocuous of it, it's definitely illegal, but he was just like listening to the big players and then trading on his own on the side. And then the network of people were doing the same thing. They were just trading on their own. One guy didn't refuse to trade on his own. I forgot, or he did. I don't remember what he did exactly. He didn't want to accept any money, but he still was involved. I forgot exactly why. So there were a bunch of different players, and some felt really guilty. Some didn't feel any guilt at all. Like Dennis Levine, he had zero guilt until he was caught. So he's like, didn't matter to him. Some of them really did feel guilty. It actually affected their health. So it's interesting also to see that, like the effects of greed on different people. Some of them, it was like, I don't care, I'm just going to get rich. And other of them, they knew it was wrong in their heart, and it hurt them. Okay, so the next player. So Dennis Levine was just doing insider trading, but he got involved with Boesky. And when Dennis Levine got caught, he implicated everyone. He just ratted on everybody to get immunity. And one of them was Boesky. And Boesky was involved with Milken. Okay, and Milken was the big guy. He was the one who created the junk bond empire, all right? And what is that? So some of the things that these guys were doing were not the same as Levine. So Levine was doing insider trading, which was not good, but these guys were more manipulating the market so they could get their deals to go through. And then they were making the fees to get the deals to go through and making more clients, more fees. So that they were doing it to get business in their corporations to grow their empires. Michael Milken wanted more people to buy more junk bonds. He wanted to create more and more junk bonds. He would make profits every time junk bonds were issued and created and all that kind of stuff. He would use junk bonds. Companies would use these junk bonds as financing to buy other companies. All right. So that was a huge empire there. The other empire was, so that was what he was doing. And other people were doing the same thing. And then they were doing different manipulations of the market, like parking. You can't hold too many securities. Otherwise, you have to report it, or otherwise you violate capital requirements, various reasons. So they would take their securities and sell them to someone and say, hold it for me. That's called parking. And then sell it back later. And that's all parking. That's all legal. So they would do all kinds of manipulations to get their deals to go through. And they artificially propped up the market. And the bonds they would issue would just be, if your bond was due, just do another bond, just paid off with debt. And when the whole thing collapsed, all the debts couldn't be paid. And then the market started crashing, but it was all built up on debt that couldn't be paid back anyway. And all these players ended up going to jail. And so it's a really good book. I highly recommend you take a look at it about what greed can do to the country, to you, to your family, to others, and what really happened in the 80s. So have a great day. Thanks for being on live. Aloha. Take care. Bye. Thank you. Thank you for being a fan, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check the link below. Get that ebook. And